Hey everybody, welcome to How to Build Your Own Home. Today's video is going to look a little different. Instead of having Keith as your instructor, you got me, Parker, your student teacher. Today we're going to talk to our painter, Caden, about what makes painting estimates go up, his tips and tricks, and how preparing for the painter can help you save the most money. Let's walk inside and meet the pro. Hi, we're here with Caden with Specialty Painting. He's here to talk about one of the biggest cost factors in his estimates. What do you know?
So we're going to start talking about tones. Tones refers to different sheens or colors you have on your wall. So you have one tone is probably one of the cheapest options on your list. One tone meaning your base is one color, your wall is the same color, and your ceiling is the same color. So everything's all one color. You then have two-tone. You can do your base in one color or sheen. So usually we're doing two tones. We're doing a semi-gloss on your trim and base and your casings and doors. Some people also like to do their closets in a semi-gloss also. And so one color, one sheen, base, case, doors, closets, and another color or sheen on the walls and ceilings. So usually semi-gloss here, and then walls and ceilings, they do an eggshell or a satin. Now, three-tone would be the same base, case, doors, and closets, one color, one sheen. It's kind of that semi-gloss. Your walls would be eggshell or satin, but then they want ceilings flat or a matte finish. Three-tone being the most expensive. Two-tone is kind of your mid-range, and your one-tone obviously being the most cost-effective when it comes to painting.
Percentage-wise, what do you think would be the difference between the three tones?
So you're probably a 20% difference from your one-tone to two-tone, and probably a 20 to 30% from two-tone to three-tone. And I've seen a lot of jobs where painters will say, oh yeah, I'll come paint, but the builder doesn't specify how many tones. I'm always asking how many tones, because that is that's the number one cost factor when I estimate jobs.
Staining is one of the most trendy things right now. There's a lot more to staining than meets the eye, and that's why it can be one of the more expensive features. Can you take us through on why staining is more expensive?
So, unlike paint, staining is varies in the amount of process that it takes. Depends on kind of the wood, but usually there's a lot more prep involved with the wood. There's a lot of sanding. There's a lot of making sure everything looks uniform and ready for the stain, as well as making the wood able to accept the stain. Usually our process, we're usually putting a stain color on the rail, and then that usually requires 2 to 3 finish coats. And you can do those in matte, flat, satin, semi-gloss, but usually it takes a lot more prep because you're doing a color coat and those top coats on top of it. That material also costs more than regular paint just because of the way that it's made.
There's nailer holes too, and you got to paint match that
Yep.
filler, right?
Yep. So yeah, you got to make sure the filler matches and hides those holes good. It also can cost more. A lot of people like to match their wood to the floor, and that takes a lot of time because you got to take samples to the stores and you got to get it just right. Wood, even in the same cut of wood, you can get different variation of the color. So you really have to have somebody who knows what they're doing, and we've been doing it for a long time to make sure it matches well and it looks consistent throughout. Somebody who doesn't know what they're doing is not going to know that wood has so much variation in it, even within your same cuts.
Yeah.
So a lot of things I've seen builders do, a big problem I've seen that builders will do is mix match woods. And so what you'll have is you'll have like this beautiful white oak, and then you'll have these pieces in alder, or you'll have pine, and they want it all to look the same, and that is really hard to match. That also adds a lot of cost. So if you can get all the same wood, that definitely helps it for your painter to be very smooth going forward and really have the best finish possible.
Right now we're in the front office. This office has a lot of trim. Kate, take us through why more trim adds more cost.
So a lot of people have the misconception that, well, that trim doesn't take a whole lot of space on my wall. It's not going to take that much more paint. And they're probably right. But what they're not factoring for is all this additional prep time. You have all these holes you have to fill. If you want it to look clean and have nice lines, we usually caulk all these edges, both inside and outside. Same thing goes with the casing here around these windows. We've got to caulk the window. We've got to caulk this piece. We got to caulk that piece, and all those joints and stuff. It takes a lot of time, and people don't think about the time it takes. So a lot of your cost isn't in materials necessarily. It's the time it takes to do the work.
Also in this room, we're going to do a darker olive green color. Tell us why accent colors increase the cost.
Well, so you have the main house usually is one color, and then it takes time to switch from one paint to another. When we're switching in our pumps or different rollers or brushes, the transitions, we have to have clean lines around the edges of these rooms. So it takes time to make sure that those lines are clean and you really do a good job. Being darker also has a tendency to be hard to touch up if you don't do it right. So we really try to be careful and do a quality job and get the color you want.
Another thing to consider is your drywall texture. This one's wholly smooth, but the levels can go up to smooth wall, which are a lot more intense, right?
Yeah, so your wholly smooth is pretty standard. At least we call it wholly smooth. Some people call it old world. It's very forgiving. You get scuffs and dings. It's easy to patch. What gets difficult about a smooth wall is all this texture gets filled in, and it has to be perfectly smooth. People know that costs more on drywall, but paint ends up costing more also, because now we have to take special care and attention to make sure that this wall is perfectly smooth. That's from the start of the paint job, also all the way through the touch-up. So any dings going forward, it gets really hard to make it disappear, to make the wall perfectly smooth, and that adds a lot of time and cost.
All right, Caden, is there anything else that we haven't discussed that may increase the cost?
So two things come to mind. The first is your ceiling height. Some people think, oh, I got this square footage price, but with painting, obviously, we go on a wall, not on a floor. So heights of ceilings do make a difference. Make sure your painter knows that, where your ceiling heights are gonna differ, how tall they're gonna be. If you have plans, that really helps in the long run. The second thing I can think of is materials and paint in particular. Some people think, oh, I'll go buy this paint from my painter. I saw a good deal. Let the painter get the material. They know how to work it. They know how to use it. They know how to make it look right. And on top of that, they're usually getting some sort of contractor pricing with whoever they're using. Don't get afraid of, well, I picked this color from Benjamin Moore, but my painter wants to use Sherwin-Williams. All the colors you can use at any store. So trust that your painter's gonna pick the right product. They'll get you the right color and get you the job you want.
Thanks, Caden, for all your professional tips. It's good seeing you.
Thanks.
See you at the next job.
We'll see you.
Well, that's a wrap. You've heard it from the professionals. I learned a lot. I hope you learned a lot. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.